Hello guys, welcome to another session. So here in this video, we will be talking about the free trade agreement which is signed between India and UK, which is a strategic milestone for India's textile and apparel sector. See, the agreement promises to provide a zero duty access for Indian textiles to the UK market, and you can consider this as a major shift that can significantly enhance India's global trade footprint. Okay, and but again, if you need to reap its full benefit, we need some strategic reforms, and you need to enhance the competitiveness within the domestic industry. So related to this, you can get questions, and that's exactly what we need to discuss. You can, the questions you can get, see, if you look at it, its relevance are there in your paper two also, right? So because it is a bilateral agreement involving India or affecting India's interests, so that area it is connected. And then it is connected with your GS paper 3 also, because economic development and trade, employment generation in the textile sector. So that way also it is connected with both of these papers. And I've taken one sample question here. You can look at the question. I have given the method in which you can answer. So this is how we are going to proceed. Okay, so you need to discuss the significance of this India-UK FTA for the textile sector and what the structural reforms are necessary for India to fully reap or capitalize this opportunity. So that's what we are going to discuss here. So if you look at the factual background here in this scenario, okay, so see, India and UK have entered into a landmark trade agreement. That's a free trade agreement that will eliminate the duties completely on textile and the apparel export. So if you look at UK, it's India's largest market for textile products. And when you're removing this tariff, it is expected to provide India's, manufacturing a competitive edge, because now duty is not there. So your exports will increase and the competitive pricing also will actually help you. So this FTA, in fact, projected to boost India's textile export to UK by around 20% in the next 2 years. So that will, because already the trade barriers have reduced and market accessibility have increased. So of course, exports will increase and the price is also competitive since no duty is there. So because of this, we are expecting that the exports will increase by 20%. So this is what, yeah. So zero duty access, growth potential, the trade impact. Okay. Now see here. These are the key points. Zero duty access, the structural challenges, and PM Mitra perks is also there. So zero duty access means basically, if you look at this agreement, allows Indian textile products to enter UK market without any import duties, which is, or you can say, significantly lowering the cost. And once the cost is decreased, what will happen? That will increase the competitiveness of Indian products in the UK market. So that way it is positive. And then see, if you are looking at this move, it is normally it is going to bridge the gap with rival countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, who they also enjoy the similar benefit in UK at this point of time. So now we will be again, this is going to give you that competitive advantage. Now, when you talk about the structural challenges, see, India's textile sector is fragmented with multiple small and medium-sized enterprises, right? SMEs, and that struggle with scale and efficiency. So that is one of the challenges that we need to address. And outdated policies, inefficient supply chain, and inadequate infrastructure, that is again affecting the growth. So you can talk about rationalizing the GST structure, and especially, particularly, for this man-made fibers, which is very much essential to reduce the cost and streamlining the production. And then you can talk about this PM Mitra perks also. So the Pradhan Mantri Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparel PM Mitra Parks initiative, basic aim to create world-class textile structure. So a proper swift operationalization of these ports can significantly enhance the production efficiency, the supply chain management, and the global competitiveness also. And these ports, these are expected to attract FDI. It will boost the job creation and will enhance India's capacity to meet its global standards. Okay, so all these points you can mention if you get a question related to this. And so we need to go for the critical analysis part also here. See, of course, there is no doubt that FTA opens substantial opportunities, significant opportunities in the textile sector by unlocking its full potential, and everything. But at the same time, if you need to use, or if, as I told you in the beginning itself, if you need to get the advantage or reap the benefit, we need structural and policy reforms. That is necessitating that structural and policy reform, like infrastructure modernization, technology adoption, rationalized GST structure, skill development, etc., sustainable manufacturing. So, if you talk about infrastructure, we need efficient logistics, upgraded manufacturing units, and integrated supply chains. These are very crucial, to handle increased demand and maintain that quality. Again, you can develop mega textile parks with integrated facilities that can reduce the product cost and it can improve quality standards. Technology adoption. So, again, Indian textile units need to adopt the global best practices like automation and digital supply chain management to meet international benchmarks. Then you can talk about upgrading spinning, weaving, and finishing technologies. That will definitely improve quality, but at the same time, it will increase the production speed and it will reduce the wastage also. Then rationalizing the GST structure, high GST rates on synthetic fibers. As of now, currently making our Indian textiles less competitive actually. So if we can rationalize the tax structure, that can reduce the input cost and that will make our products more attractive in the international market. Again, skill development, very important. We talk about that everywhere. So if you want to meet the demands of expanded production and the global quality standards, the sector, especially this sector basically requires skilled labor, and for that you need better training initiatives and other things. And you can talk about programs for reskilling, upskilling workers. In all these advanced technologies that we are talking about are very much necessary so that you can increase the efficiency, you can increase the productivity, thereby you can increase the profitability, competitiveness, and everything. Again, sustainability measures. If you look at global markets are increasingly prioritizing sustainable and ethical production practices, right? So what we need, Indian manufacturers also have to integrate the eco-friendly practices to align with the global standards, and you can talk about capturing the larger market shares in Europe and UK. So what's the way forward now? So we have understood the challenges, we have seen some of the critical analysis part. Now we also need to talk about some of the suggestions. Okay, so if you want to maximize or to reap the maximum advantage of this free trade agreement with UK, these are the following steps which you can take. Rapid implementation of PM Mitra Parks. So focus on establishing world-class textile manufacturing hubs, encourage the public-private partnership to enhance the efficiency and competitiveness. And then you talk about the policy reforms. So you can talk about, as I told you, streamline the GST structures, which will reduce the tax burden on the synthetic textiles, and then simplify export procedures, and improve the trade logistics to reduce the delays and the cost. Then technological upgradation. So you introduce the subsidies and incentives for technology adoption. You encourage automation and digitization of manufacturing processes. You talk about sustainable manufacturing, right? So you promote sustainable manufacturing practices that will align with the global environmental standards that I've discussed in the critical analysis. Focus on water conservation, minimal chemical usage, and waste reduction. Okay, so again, market diversification. Apart from UK, the Indian textiles also can explore various other untapped markets in Europe and also Africa, then in South Asia also. So my point is, what we can conclude is FTA with UK is a very good opportunity for India's textile sector to regain its competitive edge in the global market that Vietnam, Bangladesh, etc. is enjoying at this point of time. But if you want to fully capitalize on this agreement, we have to address the structural, issues, the bottlenecks. You need to modernize the infrastructure and adopt sustainable practices. So a stitch in time, right, through timely reforms and effective policy implementation that can save nine. So it will set India's textile industry a path to become a global leader in that area also. So these are the key points that I want to discuss, just connected with the editorial. Now the question also we have addressed, right? So I hope now you will be in a position to answer this question easily. So you can talk about, the introduction, right? Of course, you can talk about, you can tell what is this FTA is all about and its implication of the textile sector I discussed already. And then you talk about, you can highlight the zero duty access and its potential impact. As I discussed already, it is going to increase the exports and other things. And you also discuss the challenges that India's textile industry is facing now and suggest the reforms, as I discussed, the infrastructure, technology, GST rationalization, sustainable practices, etc. And in conclusion, you need to tell that by emphasize, you need to emphasize, the timely reforms which are required, and also the efficient implementation are very much important if you want to maximize the benefits of FTA. So I hope this discussion is very clear. Very important topic from your GS paper 2, GS paper 3, and for interview also. Okay. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.